Since 1902, the Buck family was known for making high-quality and durable fixed-blade knives. However, Buck made waves when in 1963 the 110 Folding Hunter was introduced. Following this success, a few years later, Buck forayed into the slip-joint pocket knives market. In 1966, the 301 Stockman was contracted to be manufactured by Schrade. Soon thereafter, other familiar models followed, and the manufacturing process was shifted to Camillus, and then Buck began producing some models of pocket knives themselves. An improved version of the medium Stockman, the 703 Colt, was listed as new in the 1979 catalog. It was not included in the 1980 catalog, but it did reappear in the 1981 catalog. The 1981 catalog listed a new 700 series which included two models, the 701 Mustang and the previously released 703 Colt. The 1982 catalog again introduced a new 700 series of slip-joint knives. There were four patterns included: the 701 Mustang, the 703 Colt, the 705 Pony, and the 709 Yearling. In 1983, the expanded 700 series was introduced, and it included the 701, and it was now called the Bronco. It had previously been called the Mustang, but it was now the 701 Bronco, the 703 Colt, the 704 Maverick, the 705 Pony, and the 709 Yearling. The series was now completed with these five models. Now the catalog's product description was as follows: a totally new concept, stronger, heftier, and have more body, stainless steel bolsters and liners, rust-resistant springs, hollow ground blades, handle inserts are birchwood, chemically treated to protect natural wood grain beauty. The 701 Bronco, which was previously named the Mustang, had a closed length of 3 3/4 inches. It included a 3-inch clip blade, a 2-inch spay blade, and a 2-inch sheep's foot blade. The 703 Colt Stockman was a smaller version of the 701, and it had a closed length of 3 1/4 inches. And it has a standard Stockman blades, has a 2.5-inch clip blade, there's the spay blade, which is 1 3/4 inches, and the sheep's foot, which is also 1 3/4 inches. Now, I do want to note that on both of these Stockman patterns, it did follow Buck's trend of putting 3 springs, 1 spring for each blade. And if you'll notice, the sheep's foot folds out opposite of the clip blade, something else that Buck did, so that supposedly this made a much stronger blade because it was sandwiched in between the 2 springs. The 704 Maverick was a single-bladed knife. The closed length was 3 1/4 inches with a clip point blade of 2.5 inches in length. The 705 Pony was described as a tiny executive knife. The closed length was 2 inches the closed length was 2.5 inches, and it featured a 2-inch clip point blade, and a 1.5-inch coping blade. The 709 Yearling was described as an executive knife. The closed length was 3 inches, and it featured a 2.25-inch clip point blade and a 1.5-inch pen blade. Let's take a brief look at the different shields that Buck used on this series of knives. The first series, it had script lettering, and I believe this to be from 1983 to 1988. It also had a script tang stamp, as you see on this 704 Maverick. In 1989 through 1998, they had block lettering, such as on this Buck Yearling. And you can also see the tang stamp was changed to block lettering also. From 1999 to 2001, there was no shield at all. I'm not for certain, but I believe the tang stamp, with this being script and that script, this block and this block, that the same time frames pertained to the lettering on the tang stamps. Please note that there is a difference between the year of manufacture when they appear in the catalog. For example, the 701 Bronco has a date of manufacture symbol of 1999, but it does not appear in the catalog until 2000 with no shield. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Buck 700 series of knives. They're really a fantastic set of knives. They were for the fancy cowboy, I guess. They were improved, a little more heavy duty than the standard line of slip joint knives. And it's a shame they're not made anymore. I wish they could bring them back. Well, I tell you what, if you'd like to learn more about Buck Knives, please look at my playlist down here, my Buck Knives playlist. If you'd like to subscribe to Knife Delights, well, I hit this big round button down here that says Knife Delights. And down here in the lower left-hand corner, well, that's the next video that YouTube recommends that you watch. So until next time, have a very delightful day.